Required to find the area of triangle ABC. Label points D and E. Let line B, D equals Y and line D, E equals X. This implies that area of triangle BD, E equals the product of X and Y divided by 2, which equals to 6. It signifies that Y equals 12 divided by X. We call it equation 1. Let angle C equals beta, which is equals to angle ABD. Triangle ACB is similar to triangle ABD. This is because of side property of similar triangles. It implies that from triangle DBE, using Pythagoras theorem, the square of B E equals the sum of the square of B, D and the square of DE. Thus, the square of B, E equals the sum of the square of Y and the square of X. Take the square root of the equation. We have that B, E equals the square root of the sum of the square of Y and the square of X. Also, from triangle ABD, using Pythagoras theorem, we obtained an equation for the square of AB as shown on the screen. It implies that the square of AB equals the sum of the square of Y and the square of 2, which equals the square of Y and the 4. Take the square root of the equation. Thus, AB equals the square root of the sum of the square of Y and 4. From triangle ABD, AD divided by AB equals sine beta, which equals to 2 divided by the square root of the sum of the square of Y and 4. And from triangle ABD, we obtain two equations which are equal to sine beta as shown on the screen. Equate the two equations since they have equal sine beta. It implies that two divided by the square root of the sum of the square of Y and 4 equals the value shown on the screen. Cross-multiply and simplify. Substitute value of Y, which equals to 12 divided by X. From equation 1. This implies that the product of 2 and the sum of 2, x and the square root of the sum of the square of y and the square of x equals the sum of the square of 12 divided by x and 4, which equals to 144 divided by the square of x and 4. Open bracket and simplify. Hence, we obtained a new equation as shown on the screen. Cross-multiply. It implies that the sum of 4 times the square of x, 2 times the cube of x, and the product of 2, the square of x, and the sum of the square root of the sum of the square of y and the square root of x equals the sum of 144 and 4 times the square of x, all divided by the square of x. Replace y with x and we obtained an equation as shown on the screen. Remove square root by squaring the equation. Simplify and we have that the sum of 4 times x to the power of 6 and 576 times the square of x equals 20,736 minus 576 times the cube of x plus 4 times x to the power of 6. Cancel equal but opposite sign terms and arrange terms in one side of the equation. It implies that the sum of 576 times the cube of x and 576 times the square of x minus 20,736 equals 0. By trial and improvement method, x equals 3 is the only real solution of the equation. It implies that x equals 3. From equation 1, y equals to 12 divided by x. Thus, y equals 4. Line A, c equals the sum of 2x and the square root of the sum of y squared and x squared, which equals to 10 units. Also, AB equals the square root of the sum of y squared and 4, which equals the square root of 20 or the product of 2 and the square root of 5 in units. By Pythagoras' theorem, the square of b, c equals the square of a, c minus the square of a, b, which equals to 80 or 16 times 5. Take the square root of the equation. It implies that line B, c equals the product of 16 the square root of 5, which equals 4 times the square root of 5. This implies that area of triangle AB, C equals the product of AB and B, C all divided by 2 equals the product of the square root of 20 and the square root of 80 all divided by 2, which equals to 20 square units. Therefore, area of triangle AB, C equals 20 square units.